Hello everybody, today we watched Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So Aidan, what is the plot of the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn?
Birds of Prey and the whatever the fuck is, Harley Quinn and the Joker break up. So Harley Quinn doesn't have protection from the Joker, who nobody seems that scared of and who never does anything, especially the DCEU version, who's in the entire universe for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And he just laughs by a bunch of knives and
the extended cut of Suicide
drives a
Squad
pink
has
Bugatti.
10 minutes of him driving a pink Bugatti and sitting next to knives.
But since she's not under protection anymore, everyone in the city wants to kill her. And Black Mask is there. He wants a diamond that has some DNA or something in it.
No, the diamond has the inscription of Helena's parents' bank account because they have overseas bank accounts because they were criminals.
Sure. And the Harley Quinn, some little Asian girl who's like, she turns into Batwoman or something in the
Cassandra
comics.
Cain, she turns into Batgirl in the comics.
She eats the diamond and it's in her poopy. And Harley Quinn and a bunch of other people, they all want this diamond. So they all try to get the girl, and then the women learn that men bad and all team up. There's Huntress, who has a crossbow and she has autism. There's Black Canary, and she has a superpower that she uses once, and she can kick people
for some reason.
And then there's Cop Lesbian, who
Renee Santoya.
shoots people. She's a good
Good
cop.
thing I read the comics because there's no way I'd remember
She
any
can,
of these names otherwise.
her-
I recognize the name of
The
this
cop's
character. that's
superpower. The cop has a superpower too. She has the ability to look at a bunch of dead bodies and accurately, perfectly determine exactly what happened.
Well, she only uses that power
magic.
once, like every other character.
Yeah, she only uses that once. And also, there's a hyena and a dead beaver, and they all
Team up to fight.
kick bad guys in the balls. They team up. They all end up in the same place. They're not friends. They barely know each other. They've never interacted. And Harley Quinn says, "I guess we're all gonna have to make a team."
So that's it? What, we some kind of suicide squad?
And they punch a bunch of beefy guys in the nuts, and then they save the day. So Connor, what'd you think of the Fantabulous Emancipation of one
You mean
Harley Quinn,
Birds of Prey,
Suicide Squad 2, Deadpool 3?
You mean Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn?
AKA Deadpool 3.
AKA Deadpool 3, AKA Suicide Squad 2, except worse. It was dog shit, dude. It sucked. It was really fucking bad. I don't know where to start. First off, I guess I'll just start with the movie as a whole. As a movie, the director does not know how to pace a fucking movie. It's somehow edited worse than Suicide Squad. There's one particular example where Harley Quinn is captured by who we think are police officers, who might have been police officers in disguise, but they're really Black Mask's goons. But I don't know if they were disguised as police officers. They kind of like were implied to be police officers, but they weren't. And then she has to get the diamond for Black Mask. But we don't actually learn that right away. We learn she's captured, and then in the next scene, she's shooting the police station up with beanbag rounds. But we are confused why she was out. But then we learn that she was captured, and then she came back here to try to find Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, but there's like 4 flashbacks between them.
There's like 15 flashbacks. This movie is like flashbacks and flashbacks, and I get Harley Quinn.
It tries to be Pulp Fiction, but without like thinking.
Yeah, that's what it tries. It kind of tries to do like a Pulp Fiction thing, but it doesn't work at all. And the pacing is so fucking confusing. I can never tell what's going on. It's like literally what they did is they shot a movie. They cut it into pieces and they randomly edited it together, and we're supposed to just figure it out. Like
Tied
once,
a bunch of voiceovers
once
to
they
it.
say, "Oh, look at this scene that we just saw 10 minutes ago again," and Harley Quinn's got her hands up, we understand at that point what's going on. But until then, you're like, "Wait, why is Harley Quinn out of jail? Why is all this?" And there's a lot of weird shit that's unexplained. Like Renee Santoya. So here's my understanding. She wears a shirt that says, "I shaved my balls for this." We don't know how she gets this shirt or why she's wearing the shirt. But the assumption is because in the last scene, which is tucked away by 8 flashbacks, the reason she's wearing it is because Harley Quinn threw a trash bag at her. But we don't really know this. And she just wears it for like almost the rest of the movie until like the last scene. And it's really bizarre. But so the pacing makes no sense. You can never tell what's going on in the movie until the last half hour, and then it's all linear.
When Harley Quinn started shooting up the police station, I literally thought that we just like missed a scene. Like, I was so fucking confused.
As was I.
There was no like indication that it was a flashback. Like, they have voiceover through the whole thing, and Harley Quinn does the Ferris Bueller thing, the Deadpool thing, and talks to the camera constantly. And this is the one time where she doesn't say, "Let's skip forward a little," or something like that.
Yeah,
to give some sort of indication.
At least there's that
it's
context.
literally just
usually.
back to back. It's so weird.
Also, another weird pacing thing is, this movie feels like they reshot a lot of it, but the editors got confused and didn't know what to keep and not to keep, because they're like, what you have to do is cut this movie, this jumbled piece of garbage together. Here's the original, here's the reshoots, now just lace it together. Because there's a scene, Black Canary meets Cassandra Cain, gives her $100, and then in the next scene, Black Canary acts like she never knew Cassandra Cain.
Yeah,
so
Cassandra just tries to pickpocket her, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Get away from me, little kid! You're gonna pickpocket the wrong person."
But
It's
then-
like they just met a scene ago.
Yeah, they met a scene ago, and you're like, is that a flashback? And then you kind of put the pieces together logically, and you're like, no, that wasn't a flashback. She literally just met her a scene ago. That was the thing. She met her one scene ago and has forgot about her now. What the fuck? None of the characters are well established or anything like they are in the comics.
Oh god.
First off, the only reason we're supposed to care about these characters are because they're in the comics. Helena's the closest thing to established because they keep cutting back to her backstory, even though her backstory shouldn't have been that important. What they should have done is one flashback where her parents get killed. Maybe that's like the lead into the movie, because the entire movie, they're following the MacGuffin, the diamond, which Cassandra swallowed. That is all we need to know. We could see her parents get murdered at the start of the movie, and then Helena's there chasing the diamond. We know who she is later because it gets revealed at the end or something. Like, if you didn't already know her backstory, it works. But instead they keep cutting back and they keep saying, this is Helena's diamond. And she's kind of just... Helena just shows up in scenes. Like, there's one scene where they're
she just shows up.
they're all going
kills
to
people
the
and
fun
drives away.
house. They're all going to the fun house where they have, like, some Mexican standoff thing going. And Helena just... The only reason she's in the scene is because they all know where they're going, but they can't explain how Helena does, so she just pulls out in a motorcycle behind.
Yep.
Like, did she gather intel to do this? What happened? Why don't we see her story at all? We don't. We see flashbacks of her origin 50 times. Like, we get it.
You know,
there's 4 sets in this entire fucking movie, so it feels like the smallest, most unestablished world. All we know is everyone in this world treats Harley Quinn like she's some sort of, like, Daffy Duck, and everyone wants to kill her. Like, it's a cartoon. They're just like, oh, I want to kill you, Harley Quinn. No one tracks her down. They just bump into her on the street and try to kill her.
I think the funniest character moment in the movie is Harley Quinn gets drunk because she's sad about her breakup and some sex traffickers tried to kidnap her.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Canary beats them up. And Black Mask is looking out his window and seeing this. And he's like, wow, she can really kick those guys' ass. I guess I'm gonna make her my fucking driver.
Yeah,
like,
that's
what
chauffeur
the fuck
potential. If you don't know karate, you can't be her chauffeur. He's like, you're fired as my singer, now you're my driver. And she's just like, okay. And then Renee Santoya's like, you got a rat on him. And she's like, I'm not a rat. And then like a scene later, she just starts ratting on him with no context. She just becomes a rat, even though a scene ago she says, I'm not a rat. Okay.
Oh god, can we talk about the fucking title cards?
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
There are so fucking many title cards.
This movie didn't learn anything from Suicide Squad. Not only is
there's
it
even more title cards.
It's edited worse than Suicide Squad, and everybody gets a title card as a meme. But in reality, it's like Hector, the man down the street, Huang, Harley Quinn's only friend, who betrays her one scene later for no fucking
Every
reason.
single character in this movie has a fucking title card, and it's always like reason they hate Harley. And there's like
twice there, it's because Harley doesn't have a penis.
Yes.
One time it's unironically it's the like cancel logo thing, the circle with the line through it, and the eggplant emoji.
Yeah. Well,
and
the
then
other
it's
one
like
is
name, and then it's like laughing, crying emoji. I'm like, the fuck does that mean?
Also, when Black Mask captures her, she's trying to figure out what Black Mask was mad about, and it flips through a bunch of things, and some of them include having a vagina. And also voting for Bernie Sanders.
She wrote in Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders, dumbass, didn't even get through the fucking primary.
Oh, this movie, it takes so much from the 80s aesthetic. Like, everyone's dressed like a fucking retard, and they all drive shitty 80s vintage cars, and the police station doesn't have computers. But whenever it's inconvenient, the 80s aesthetic is just dropped, because Black Canary runs around with an iPhone.
No, it's just easier. They're like, oh, we forgot to shoot that. So there's like an insert shot of like an iPhone or something with text on it.
They're like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like an 80s roller derby Harley Quinn movie? And then they're like, but we already set Suicide Squad in like 2015. And they're like, whatever, just make it 80s anyway and throw a couple of cell phones in there and just Gotham City's just weird, you know? LOL. I don't know. That's basically their whole excuse.
Harley Quinn is like Deadpool, but where Deadpool occasionally has funny moments interlaced with a bunch of cringe, Harley Quinn's, at best, reaches cringe levels of comedy. And I would say Harley Quinn's best joke in this movie is probably worse than Deadpool's worst joke in both movies combined. Deadpool could dress up like Pickle fucking Rick and start screaming, look, fucking Kumar, I'm a pickle now. Kumar taxi driver. And then that would actually be funnier than anything. That would actually force a laugh out of me more than anything Harley Quinn does in this movie. And everything she does is a meme. Oh, there's also the scene. Can I point out the scene where the hyena gets blown to pieces and buried under rubble, and then 3 scenes later, for plot convenience, is just alive because Harley Quinn has hyenas in the...
You know, I predicted that would happen, but I thought it would come sooner. I thought, you know...
Like it would come out right away instead of just magically appearing.
No, I thought that they'd do the fake out death and then have the hyena, like, save her from Black Mask, but then it just shows up in, like, the last 2 seconds of the movie. She's like, my doggy was fine. And they drive
You know what they say about hyenas? They have 9 lives. Okay. You know what they say about hyenas? They have plot armor because we're trying to sell merchandise to these fuckers at Hot Topic.
Yeah, I hated that stupid cartoon hyena.
Can we talk about the mercenaries that Black Mask sends after him? I think this is the first time we mentioned Black Mask, but I think we'll have 10 minutes.
The redneck truckers?
There's the bikers that... Okay, so Harley Quinn breaks into the police station. She beats up the criminals that are in jail because she lets out all the criminals to...
She accidentally lets out all the DC stuntmen who were locked in their cells.
So Circus Olay, she fights Circus Olay while Cassandra Cain ducks around and is like, oh no. And then the biker gang comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're just their way through the front door of the police station.
No, it's not even the front door. They just... I guess they must have went through the... They kind of like just show up in the back.
No, they do that reaction shot of them kicking down the front door.
Yeah. Why is the police evidence locker literally like a thin, unlocked door between the convicts and them? And why is there like polished, obviously wasn't used in a murder baseball bat as evidence? Like most of the time you think they just chuck that shit.
And a minivan with 2 mattresses on top of it and
and then a car with an open door for
a pallet full of cocaine.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a scene where the cocaine is shot by the bikers and cocaine starts flying everywhere. And Harley sniffs really hard to get cocaine, which gives her super cocaine superpowers. Nice. I mean, because, like, that's a good idea for a movie that children are obviously going to watch. This movie made for, like, teenagers and edgy kids. Like, just snort cocaine. There's literally no downside to the cocaine. Like, she's not like, oh, I snorted so much cocaine, I'm going to cry. She's like, nope, drugs are good.
Cocaine is fucking awesome.
Cocaine's a fucking awesome drug.
Beat up 3 bikers.
Yeah. And she brutally murders the bikers, and then, like, 2 scenes later, they're like... Cassandra, you'll be scarred by what you see of our fight against the Circus Olay stunt doubles in the fucking Circus Olay set. So you better cover your eyes and hide. And she's like cowering in the corner when like a scene earlier she's trying to like pop people with a fucking gun and shit.
Well, that last
and watches a biker get fucking brained across the wall.
The last fight scene is a real Circus of Life shit show.
They're like, we're gonna gut the kid, and then she's like,
it's
this
literally
is gonna
just,
get violent.
That last fight scene, they're in like the amusement house thing.
They're doing front flips.
And they're all doing like front flips on like bouncing beams and
the
stuff.
The obvious
like
a movie set.
Bouncing on trampolines. The obvious movie set where they
It's
never show any. All of the main
circus?
characters' faces are off screen because
There's
it's obviously stunt doubles hitting stunt doubles.
It's not like a trail like you would think for like a normal like amusement house or whatever.
No, there's like a big spinning hand thing. Like there's just like this giant wheel with a bunch of giant rubber hands on it for some reason. It's very bizarre.
It's fucking horrible.
The team
it's not bizarre.
When you have a team up movie, not everyone gets this right, but the team up aspect of this movie is fucking terrible. This movie's a Harley Quinn movie 90% of the way, and then they all meet up in the funhouse.
Are the only ones that have characters.
They all meet up in the funhouse and they say, and Harley's like, I guess we're all trapped here because Black Mask is outside. Guess we're a team now. And then the autistic huntress goes, so I guess we fit some kind of suicide squad. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I like how Cassandra's just there because they had a chubby Asian boy in Deadpool 2, so like we need a chubby Asian girl for
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
Female Deadpool.
Can I just talk for a second about how... Okay, so not only are none of the characters in the Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, whatever you want to call it, same shit. Not only are none of them established in the movie, like we know Black Canary can fight and is sad by rape because there's like 6 scenes where Black Canary like witnesses girls get sexually harassed and she's sad about it. But they don't actually have characters. Like Huntress is like, there are flashbacks of my parents dying and now I'm Drax except a woman and more autistic. Like at least Drax was an alien. So he had like a right to be autistic. He's just like a weird dude, like part of a race that like...
Yeah, I don't even understand.
He's like some like ripped green Spock, basically, where she's just retarded. And they...
Yeah, her character's really weird.
She has at least autism, but probably worse.
Because all the other characters
perhaps Downs
kind of make sense, but she's kind of just like weird.
Like Huntress has no character except she shoots people with arrows and shows up in the last scene and is supposed to be important. Renee Santoya is a lesbian. We learned that from one fucking throwaway line of dialogue, and she's a very good detective who gets shafted for having vagina. Black Canary's sad by rape, so she's a good guy because...
Truly men bad.
Yeah. And then Harley Quinn, we know quite a bit about her because the 98% of the movie's about her, despite the fact it's called Birds of Prey for no reason. And then we know Cassandra Cain is pickpocket little girl. The only reason the characters have any relevance, and for me as a comic fan, I know these characters because I read about them in the comics, but from an outsider's perspective, I imagine it's very confusing, and you're just like, who are these fucking characters? But aside from that, other than taking the names, and it's kind of racist what they did, but aside from taking the names, there's actually no relevance to the comic book characters. Huntress,
Black Canary gets the power for like a second.
Well, Black Canary shoots her superpower one time, and for some reason doesn't want to use it.
I think she passed out after using it, so I guess their excuse is probably that she wasn't like trained to do it, and so she was.
And her mother has the same power. They said in a throwaway line, which is accurate to the comics, but she's really nothing like Black Canary from the comics. Huntress is the closest adaptation to the comics aside from Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is just like the comics. She's an annoying meme lord, less funny version of Deadpool made for Hot Topic merchandise. So she's accurate. But Renee Santoya in the comic, they got the fact that she's a cop and they got the fact that she's a lesbian. So bravo. And she's old and she is shafted for being a woman or a lesbian or both. But Cassandra Cain, this is the one that bothered me because Cassandra Cain is nothing like she was in the comics. Like in the comics, she was like raised by the League of Assassins, became an assassin, and then kind of like became Batgirl eventually when she like decided she wanted to be a good guy or whatever and didn't want to kill people. in this, she's a pickpocket little girl. In the comics, she's mute for like 10 years. They just wrote her as a complete mute. She's just like an assassin, and she kind of like speaks with her actions or whatever. This movie, she's an annoying quip lord. But I guess she's Asian in the comics and she's Asian in the movie, so that's why. Because it's like, they said, we want an annoying little kid like in Deadpool. And they're like, well, in Deadpool, they just took an obscure character and kind of made up their own character. So we can just take this obscure character that has an over 250 issue comic series and appeared in Batman comics for 30 years and just make her equipping. She's Asian, so it's like the same. They're both Asian.
They're the same person.
They're Asian. So Asians, not only do they look alike, but they all are the same. So it doesn't really matter if they just take a completely unrelated character and call her Cassandra Cain so that Watch Mojo can be like, top 10 reasons Birds of Prey is a great movie. Number 10, Birds of Prey has Cassandra Cain. You might know that she'll become Batgirl one day, but right now she's just also Harley Quinn and has nothing to do with her comic personality. Number 9.
What did you think?
There's other names that we could recognize when we Google the DC Wiki.
What did you think about the Joker's appearances in this movie?
Oh yeah, so the Joker shows up like 6 times, shot from behind, and it looks like a ripped stunt double in a Party City Jared Leto Joker costume. Like they're like Hot Topic has so many of these on clearance, and I think like they can lend us one of the costumes. Like, I feel like what they did is they said, this merchandise we made for Hot Topic is now on clearance, so we can buy it back at cost. It's going to cost us 0 money to buy this Hot Topic Joker costume. We'll just toss any schlub in it so that we can shoot it from behind. Like, they wanted to include Jared Leto's Joker in it, but we're too cheap to get Jared Leto's Joker. Like, if you're gonna you already made the mistake of having Jared Leto's Joker. So why not just, I guess money. This movie obviously had no money because it was shot worse than an Amazon Prime TV series, as I said like 40 times. It has like 6 sets. It literally feels like a fucking CSI episode.
It does the worst try with the 80s aesthetic. I can kind of see what they're going for sometimes. What the director of this movie should be doing, definitely not this, making something in the vein of Black Dynamite.
I think she should.
80s comedy throwback.
It was also kind of, speaking of racist, like every time Black Canary's on screen, it's like, Dolomite! Then like she walks around, I'm a jive woman from the streets.
I think the director could make some fun 80s throwback, goofy comedy things, but she's going to make this and then her career's going to get fucking tanked by it.
I'm fine with it. She doesn't deserve to have a career. This movie fucking sucks. Fair. I would never watch another movie by this director. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This movie is up there with one of the worst DCEU movies, but we can come back to that later because we have a lot more to talk about. Should we just get into the
gay thing?
So this movie did a lot to diversity pander.
We'll build up to the good gay one. We'll start with the lesser
so
gays.
Like they show that Harley Quinn had a girlfriend. Lesbo alert. Renee Santoya is a lesbian.
Her ex-girlfriend is like
her
attorney general or some shit.
Is like the attorney.
Person.
Is the district attorney assistant or whatever. They didn't have money and they didn't want to waste Harvey Dent on this movie, so they just have the district attorney's friend show up repeatedly. But they go all the way to calling Black Mask gay without calling him gay. Like him and Victor Zsasz get really close.
Weird going
and
on with
there's
that.
multiple times where you're like, they're gonna fucking kiss, and you know in a different cut they probably did, but they're like, I think they wanted to diversity pander so much that they're like, Black Mask is gay, but at the end of the movie we blow him up with a grenade and he's evil, so we don't want to be like accused of negative things. So if people look at Black Mask being gay as a positive, they're gonna say Black Mask's gay. But we have reasonable doubt enough to deny. Like, there's no proof he's gay.
Yeah, there's a lot
but he acts
of
fucking
shit.
gay, and he looks like he's gonna fuck his ass.
Besides
and
the fact that
the dude's lover is a serial killer, which is a little bizarre.
Yeah. So, Ewan McGregor, who plays Black Mask, runs around dressed like Elton John with eyeliner on the whole movie.
He does. He has some flamboyant costumes.
90% of his scenes in this movie are with Victor Zsasz, who people who played Batman Arkham Asylum might remember is that guy you kick in the face at the start of the first game.
Yeah, he's the guy who murders. He kills people, and then he scars himself every time he kills someone.
But Zsasz and Black Mask have so much like weird homoerotic tension. I'm not sure if it's intentional or if it was intentional and got cut, or if it was just like some sort of bizarre, allegedly how Nightmare on Elm Street 2 happened, where Nightmare on Elm Street was allegedly accidentally very, very gay. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Because like, there's a lot of shit. One of the first scenes we see with them together is them sitting at the dinner table eating, like, lunch or
not
whatever.
like across from each other, like evil meeting. It's like they're sitting next to each other and they're like, "Oh my God, Victor."
Yeah, and
like
then
they talk.
And then Zsasz stands up and starts giving Black Mask a fucking shoulder massage.
He's like kissing him on the neck, and he's like, "Oh, calm down. There's knots
And
in
then
your
like
back."
every time they talk, they get like this close to each other, and they always have their head tilted. And it looks like they're like a quarter second away from locking lips. It's fucking bizarre. And it's in every fucking scene.
There were like 5 times I thought they were gonna kiss, and I'm not. It's not me trying to like ring up my gaydar. Like this dude might just be metro, and they do throw like some fucking. They throw some fucking like he like kind of sexually humiliates women, but he like hates women. So I think he is just gay, and he's like one of those gay people that are like hates women, because like half the time he's like, I hate women. I just like hate them.
Yeah, but
I don't know. He just kind of says I hate women
it's so
repeatedly
weird
to make them.
Like every time, him and Zsasz are always like on the brink of kissing and always like walking next to each other and eating with each other and rubbing each other's shoulders and shit. But then at the end of the movie, they go out of their way to have Harley Quinn be like, "You just murdered his best friend." Like, I don't know about that, Harley. I don't know about that.
Honestly, I think they had so much like, I don't want to say gay pandering, but obviously it was to make positive articles and have. It was like the 2016 Ghostbusters on crack, where they're like, you can't call my shitty movie bad because we said there's lesbians.
Because there's gay people
gays.
and women and Asians.
I think they did enough. They even told you, like, you're a bad person if you don't vote for Bernie Sanders. Like, they implied that even in the movie.
They did imply that.
So they hit the point where I think liberals would give them they would have the argument, and liberals would probably give them a pass. Like, the fucking crazy, fucking far-left liberals that are watching this. Like, you could have made Red Skull and Victor Zsasz kiss. Like, that's what they wanted to do. They just didn't do it because they were scared of backlash.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad thing.
Skyfall.
Like, if you want to have fucking gay people in your movie, have fucking gay people in your movie.
Skyfall
like,
got a bunch of
deep
backlash because the villain was gay, and I'm guessing they were just scared of that. Like, you're portraying gay people as evil.
Okay, well, I think, like, gay people can be good, they can be fucking evil. They're people, too. But these movies don't, these movies that are companies, they're companies that are trying to pander to gay people, don't want to admit, like, a gay dude can be a fucking accountant, he can be a fucking evil murderer. He doesn't have to be some fucking buttfucker who has no job and runs around the street being like, I'm gay, I'm a superhero, I'm a good guy because I'm gay, I have ultimate... Like,
even the way that Ewan McGregor
just
talks
fucking let the guy buttfuck a man and just say he's evil. Like,
even
that's
the way,
what all you have to do. You don't. I mean, I'm not saying there has to be like a sex scene, but I'm saying like just
even the way Black
grow
Mask
some
talks
testicles
and stuff is like really feminine. Like I
Right.
think they were going for the gay thing and they cut it out at the last second. I'm not
I
positive.
think there were gay scenes in there. They might, and I think they went more gay with him. But then the reshoots, the Warner Brothers probably put a stop to that, because this movie, like, we're like Shazam feels like Warner Brothers might have stepped back a little bit. Like occasionally they step back. I feel like this one is one where Warner Brothers wanted to look diverse and shit, but they also wanted to be like, okay,
it's calculated.
Reel them back in
Diversity.
because they were like, okay, you know, we told you include gay people because this movie's made for women and we're trying to trick people into seeing it and we're going to get good scores because there's gay people. But we can't have that many gay people if the villain's gay because it's going to start to backfire. you know, Warner Brothers 65-year-old executive who sits on Twitter reading the
and then the executive
like
is
Bernie Sanders.
And then the executive is like, "Oh man, it's been almost 5 minutes since we last had a fucking title card.
They like my identical twin, Bernie Sanders."
Right there.
Yeah, that's like one of the things that everyone memed Suicide Squad on, and they did it. This is literally like Suicide. I would honestly argue not only did they learn nothing from Suicide Squad, they managed to make a movie that was worse.
Yeah, probably.
I honestly think this might be, if not the worst movie in the DCEU, up there with Suicide Squad. It is worse than Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
At least Batman vs. Superman had consistency to an extent.
Yeah.
The problem too is like
You're not wrong.
Deadpool is in the X-Men universe, but Deadpool feels removed for some reason.
Oh, they
Where
work
this
very
movie,
hard
it's
to
like
just-
Suicide Squad had a style, but it was grounded within the universe. Despite the fact that the movie was misguided and bad, you can't have a cinematic universe where one of them is like Superman's fucking Jesus and people are getting bombed and it's supposed to be all serious and shit. And then
People
a
are
few
just
movies
dying
later,
horribly.
people are like memeing and fucking dabbing and shit.
Talking
and
to the camera.
Wonder Woman, they
shooting
had like
glitter
World
bombs at
War
people.
One, and she's like crying. She's like, it's so sad that all these people have passed away. People die in this universe. It's so serious. We're such a serious and gritty universe. Then in the next movie, like Harley Quinn's like fucking running around, and you can't have one scene where you can't have a scene where sex traffickers, a serious thing, kidnap Harley Quinn just for a kung fu fight between fucking female Dolomite, Black Canary, comes in and says, "I'm Dolomite, motherfuckers," and then she jumps in, Black Canary, and then she like kicks a bunch of people, and is like, "You can't sex traffic them," and they're like, "Oh, my testes hurt because I was kicked in the balls," and she's like, "Men bad," and then she hops on her fucking stupid ass convertible.
The Whiplash is even worse because the last DC movie was Joker. This gritty, serious, grounded, realistic.
Then they make a movie about his
version
girlfriend,
of
and it's the
the
crappiest
Joker.
movie ever.
That's like, basically just like a Martin Scorsese crime movie with a little bit of cape shit thrown in. And then you cut to this a few months later.
This movie has tried to establish a franchise.
It's a fucking cartoon.
This movie's
a fucking cartoon.
This movie's not even formally released yet, and I would say that it's not getting a sequel.
No, it's not. The projections are bad. This thing is a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. Fucking Harley Quinn gets tripped by the cop, so she drops her egg sandwich, and then she's so angry that she cries. She's so angry that she throws garbage in the cop's face. The cop tries to shoot her, but the cop misses, which shoots a guy who's in a van trying to run over Harley in the face,
and then
which causes him to steer off the road and run over a guy in a wheelchair who's trying to shoot Harley. And then Harley's launched into the air like a fucking cartoon character, grabs onto a ladder and climbs away to safety. Yeah. It's a fucking cartoon.
And the thing about Deadpool is, Deadpool's a cartoon in a world that's not grounded, because it is a superhero movie, but it feels like he's in a grounded world as far as superhero movies go, and he's a weird monster exception where Harley Quinn is still the only one, but the difference is she lives in a world that allows her to be a huge cartoon character, and it's not weird.
Yeah.
Like, nobody thinks anything Harley Quinn does is, like, weird or odd.
I don't think Deadpool particularly works, but Deadpool kind of works because Deadpool is the only one not taking the world seriously. But in Birds of Prey, everyone is a fucking cartoon character, and it's just a big old Looney Tunes cartoon.
This is a Looney Tunes cartoon where Harley Quinn snorts the cocaine. Like, the fact that Ewan McGregor kisses his serial killer boyfriend is too taboo to show on screen, yet there's a scene where fucking Harley Quinn snorts cocaine to get superpowers, like it's Popeye getting her fucking spinach. Like, this movie's fucking retarded, dude. This is the most retarded movie I've ever seen. Dude, if it's not the worst movie in the DCEU, it is by far the most retarded. And at least, this movie discounts Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is both no longer canon and yet is. It's baffling to the mind, dude. It's so fucking mind-boggling that they let this come out.
You know what else I want to talk about?
What?
I don't know anything about fashion because, unlike Black Mask, I'm not a homo.
Oh, but they're all wearing garbage bags in this movie of various
Everyone
neon colors.
is like so awful, dude. Even I noticed. Ewan McGregor runs around dressed like Elton John with fucking John Wayne Gacy glasses.
Like, at least if you're gonna, like, his fashion wouldn't be that bad if they just came out and said he was gay. Or if he wants to just, if he's flamboyant. And sometimes he acts flamboyant and sometimes
Harley
he doesn't.
Quinn wears a pink sports bra and a golden trash bag. Oh god.
Little Asian.
Oh my god! You know what I forgot about?
What?
That scene where she's getting chased by the cop at the start of the movie when she stops to steal the sequin fanny pack. Or how she has the stuffed beavers in her house that have names.
Yeah.
And she talks to them like people.
And the hyena that shits in the bathtub. She has a hyena in her tiny one-room apartment that just does nothing but shits in a bathtub.
Well, she feeds it candy too.
Well, chains it in the bathtub, feeds it nothing but sugar. Just,
God.
Like, she's like, you don't get meaty, you get Twizzlers, you funny little, because they're colorful, like me. I'm the Joker, baby. I'm the Joker, baby. I'm the Harley Quinn, baby.
God. And the moral of the movie is essentially men bad.
Yep.
Like, in every scenario, there is not a single man who's even a remotely decent human being. She's friends with the Asian restaurant guy, and then he sells her out.
She's like, this is my best friend for all of time.
All
He's
the other-
only in one scene before he sells me out, and I realize that friendship is bad, and it'd be an emotionally gut-wrenching scene if he didn't show up one scene ago, because the writers just decided to write him in right now, and then one scene later he becomes a bad guy.
Pretty much all the men are just sexist. Even McGregor's gay.
Harley Quinn
They talk
acts-
about how much he hates women and
Harley Quinn acts self-aware, but is painfully unself-aware.
makes some girl dance in her bra because she laughed or something.
Is he a fucking raper or not?
He's, I don't know. And then, let's see. Yeah.
Why does he like Harley Quinn in one? Oh, he
Truly, men bad. It's the
I hate
lesson I
this
learned
movie.
from this movie.
I hate this movie, dude.
Men
It's
bad.
it's the worst DCEU movie. It's so fucking ridiculous. This movie's cut more like a trailer than Suicide Squad. It's like 2 hours of trailers, and badly cut trailers at that. At least Suicide Squad. Here's my argument.
See, here's the one thing.
Let's look through the DC movies quick. Man of Steel. At least Man of Steel's a movie, no contest. Batman v Superman. You could make an argument for Batman v Superman, and while Batman v Superman is stupid and retarded, it's a more... Batman v Superman literally looks like a good movie compared to Birds of Prey. Like, I would sit through Batman vs Superman, nod my head, and say that was a good movie if I watched it back to back.
You know what
with
stands
Birds of
out
Prey.
about this one? Man of Steel, linear storytelling. Batman vs Superman, linear storytelling. Justice League, Suicide Squad, linear storytelling.
No, Suicide Squad not as much. But
Suicide Squad has a couple flashbacks.
It's cut like
but
shit, but it's not. Yeah,
it's told in a straight line. This movie is.
Here's
15 minutes of random shit. Flashback to a different 15 minutes of random shit.
Sometimes
skip ahead.
Sometimes you, as the viewer, gets the privilege to know it's a flashback, and later on, you're just supposed to say, "Wait, why the fuck did that happen?" And you're sitting there for 15 minutes, boggling your mind on whether or not you missed a scene, and then it flashes forward or back. You have no idea of what time is going on.
If you're gonna make a non-linear movie, you have to have like.
See, if you're gonna make a movie, learn
brain?
to do it.
Because there are lots of non-linear movies. Let's see, Memento is told non-linearly,
Good movie.
but you can follow it because it's well put together.
And Memento.
Pulp Fiction.
Well, here's the thing
is
too.
non-linear.
Memento
and you can
is
follow
kind
it.
of hard to follow, but that's by design. And
Yes.
once it all comes together, it works.
Yeah.
This movie is non-linear to be fucking annoying to you. This
Yes.
should have been a linear movie. So there's a difference between this and those other non-linear movies. even when it's hard to follow and kind of weird, a lot of the times it comes together and you're like, oh, that makes sense. This movie comes together and you're like, oh, why wasn't this movie linear? Because it makes no sense that they shot it this way, other than the fact that Harley Quinn has autism.
Even if you re-edited it to be linear, it wouldn't make any fucking sense, though.
No, it would make less sense. It just makes it harder to find plot holes. But it doesn't, because you start to think entire segments of the movies are plot holes, and then you see an entire segment explaining that segment. And that's not in a good way. It is in an annoying fucking way, because it's like, wait, how is Harley Quinn shooting this up when she just got captured by the police? Then it's like, oh, that actually wasn't the police. Actually, she was captured by Black Masked Gang. Okay, well, thank you for just making me spend the last 20 minutes not paying attention to the movie, but boggling my fucking mind as to what the fuck is going on. Like, it is literally, like, if you compare it to each movie, and I'm gonna go on before I was rudely interrupted. Suicide Squad. I was just giving you shit. I don't care. Suicide Squad. It's like this movie, but it's linear. And, honestly, at least Wild Wild Will has enough time on screen to be somewhat established. Bad character, still established. Captain Boomerang, on screen long enough to be established. Bad character, but established. Joker, we can ignore him. But Batman shows up for a minute.
Enchantress.
It feels like it's actually part of the universe because it's grounded enough to be part of the universe, and Harley Quinn doesn't go full retard.
My favorite
It's like they say in fucking Tropic Thunder. Never go full retard. Harley Quinn went 70% retard in Suicide Squad. Dangerously close to full retard. But in this movie, she goes beyond full retard, then goes beyond full retard again, and then goes even further beyond full retard.
My favorite Suicide Squad character is the rope guy.
Yeah, me too.
He
Anyway,
climbs up
moving on. The next movie was Justice League, or Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was serviceable. Justice League was hot dog shit. But I will say,
Release the Snyder Cut.
Justice League is linear, and at least Justice League has cool action scenes. Justice League is a boring fucking movie with, okay, I wouldn't call them cool action scenes, but at least they're action
cool
scenes that are
action
watchable.
scenes.
I would rather watch the cheapest knockoff of the Avengers in the world than
You know
this
how
piece
it's
of dog
fixed
shit.
Justice League? This is a little off.
I haven't seen Aquaman, and I don't care to, so I'm moving on.
Oh, I can talk about Aquaman real
Is
quick.
Aquaman better than this movie? It did bless us with Ocean to Ocean.
Aquaman, Aquaman is like a seizure in film form featuring Pitbull. It's still better than this movie, though. You know what would have saved
And then
Justice League?
Shazam's an actual good movie. The one good movie in the DCEU.
The worst part of Justice League is that fucking Russian family the Flash saves. You could have cut out like 20 minutes of the movie by cutting out that subplot.
You could have cut out like the entire fucking movie if it never came out. but you could say that about all DCEU
what
movies.
else happened in this fucking Harley Quinn movie?
Okay, can we just stop for a second and discuss the fact that Steve Trevor's magically alive 80 years after he was supposed to die in Wonder Woman 1 and Wonder Woman 2? He's just there. Have you seen the trailer? Steve Trevor
for Wonder Woman 2?
Yes, Steve Trevor, Wonder Woman's boyfriend. I mean, they don't explain it in the trailer. I don't know how they could possibly explain it away, but because Chris Pine is popular or something and she needs a love interest and they can't make up a new one, like, it's okay if Wonder Woman moves on after 80 years. Like, that's okay. No one's going to judge her for moving on after 70 to 80 years to find a new love interest. But Chris Pine is just magically alive again, even though he... Did he die in the movie? Didn't he blow up? Didn't he fly an airplane into the villain?
He did something.
He blows up.
There was like...
I'm pretty damn sure he blows up, or he'd be dead of old age at the very least.
Bombs in the plane and he flies it into the sky or something?
I don't know. I don't remember. Watch our previous review to know what happened to Chris Pine, and watch our review that comes out in a year to explain why the fucking retard shit he's back alive. Anyway, yeah, there is a trailer out for that. I'm pretty sure the movie comes out in like 3 or 6 months. Wonder Woman is the only movie this year projected to make more than $700 million, other than some Pixar movie.
What year does Doctor Strange 2 come out?
2021, I think.
Oh, I want to see that.
I think it comes out after Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Oh, hey, son. I wonder if Shang-Chi is just gonna make up a new character.
Shang-Chi, the fat guy?
No, Shang-Chi's an easy character to make because...
No,
so
is he the fat guy?
No, he's not the fat guy. Shang-Chi is a... Okay, so here's his story in the comics. His father is a drug lord, and he's Asian and knows karate. He's Asian, so he
Is
knows...
he in the movies already?
No, he's not. He's Asian and he knows karate.
Okay.
He's Asian,
Gotcha.
so here's his character.
Gotcha.
He's Asian, thus he knows karate. And thus he uses karate. And I would assume since it's a Marvel movie, he'll also be able to, like, suplex a fucking helicopter because fucking Marvel
suck.
I think he has, like,
Sam
the power...
Raimi's Doctor Strange too.
I think Shang-Chi has, like, the power of the dragon or some shit. I don't know how they're gonna adapt this racist-ass comic character, basically yellow-face-ass comic character.
They should have
and not
Sam
make it
Raimi as a racist.
Yeah, but they're not going to. They're just going to be like, I have the power of the dragon. And then he, like, suplexes a fucking helicopter. And you see his muscles flex, and then he pulls the helicopter towards him. You know? Because he'll be so ripped. He's going to be the new Captain America, dude. You won't believe when Shang-Chi kicks some dudes doing karate. Although I am kind of excited for that movie because he's going to be fighting the fucking Mandarin. So, the real Mandarin, because they're Iron Man 3 apologists. They're like, we know Iron Man 3 was the worst movie because it didn't have a real supervillain, even though it's the best MCU movie. We'll just call it shit because no one liked it because he wasn't in his super suit enough. We're so sorry that Iron Man couldn't be in his suit because we wanted to actually add character development to Iron Man. We're so sorry.
Do you remember that scene, the first Spider-Man movie? Where he's in the wrestling ring and he says, "Nice outfit. Did your fudge pack and AIDS buddy sew it for you?"
Remember the scene in Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous Emancipation of the Harley Quinn, where Harley Quinn says enemy laughing crying face emoji, and then reason she wants him dead. With a dick emoji.
See, what I don't understand...
Eggplant. Here's
the thing I don't understand about that scene. Was the reason that he wanted to kill her because she didn't have a dick, or because he didn't have a dick? Was it a small penis joke, or was it a sexist joke?
I think the idea, like the previous scene where she also met an adversary who wanted to murder her for not having a penis, is because she doesn't have a penis.
I see. Very clever writing. Very clever writing. Men bad.
Men bad. Men bad. Men bad.
We did it, ladies. Men bad.
With me.
Is there a single man who appears in this movie who's not men bad?
No. I can't think of one. Even the Asian guy, they're like, very nice Chinese man. And then he's like, one scene later, he's just bad because men bad. Men bad. I wonder if anyone will like this movie. Like, Batman vs. Superman has apologists. Suicide Squad doesn't really, but everyone kind of brushes that movie under the rug. Is this one going to get brushed under the rug, or is there going to be I don't even... I mean, I want to say that...
There's going to be people who like it.
I want to say that far leftist fags won't like this movie. Because it is a trash-ass movie that makes no sense. But there is the gays in it.
Well, it's full of gays, and it's full of girl power, which means fat Tumblr feminists are gonna, and it's gonna appeal to the DeviantArt crowd because it's Harley Quinn. That's free pass on the DeviantArt crowd.
Mexicans.
Hot Topic, DeviantArt, Mexico, Tumblr. So it's got that audience locked down stat.
How do you think it'll perform
all those
in China? This movie is projected to make
It doesn't have any. Well, I mean, there's the black chick, but
according to my inside sources, this movie is supposed to make between $200 and $220 million.
That's pretty bad.
Sonic is supposed to do better than it. It's gonna lose to the Blue Hedgehog. That good.
I'm gonna
lose.
I'm so hyped for Sonic.
Dude,
it's gonna be such a shit show.
Sonic next week. I'm excited.
It's gonna be such a shit show.
I guess we're gonna have to do this next week for Sonic. Do you think? Well, I've heard some of them. I've heard inside information from someone who saw an early screening of Sonic. They're really pushing the brand Olive Garden in the movie. apparently, they say the full slogan for Olive Garden in the movie. I didn't even know they had a fucking slogan. But
what's the slogan for Olive Garden?
I don't know. It's probably something like "It feels like pasta night" or something. And Sonic probably said, "It feels like pasta night," and then he like runs. And
when you're here, you're family.
Oh. Yikes.
Imagine that coming out of Sonic's little hedgehog mouth.
When you're here, you're family.
Now let's go get some chili dogs.
He has a chicken Alfredo. Do you think they put a menu
waitress
at Olive Garden?
The
waitress, like, what do you want?
up.
It's like, I'll take some Chardonnay.
No,
you know, you're at your Applebee's of fancy
the waitress
restaurants.
comes up and hands them menus, and Sonic doesn't look at it and puts it down. She comes back and she comes back, and he's like, "I'll take the chili dogs." And they're like, "This is an Italian restaurant. We don't serve chili dogs. You're at an Olive Garden. When we're here, we're family." And then he's like, "Okay, I'll take the unlimited breadsticks combo TM."
No, you know what's gonna happen? I kind of want to go to Olive Garden to test my theory. But I feel like they'll have one of those handout menus, and they'll have the Olive Garden chili dog menu. Like,
it'll be like
for a limited time at
Olive Garden's getting its own Denny's Oven menu.
I'll go to Olive Garden. You know, the Applebee's of fancy restaurants. In my nice tuxedo, I'll be like, "I'll take the Chardonnay," and they'll be like, "What do you want to eat, sir? You selected?" And I'll be like, "I have had quite an adequate amount of time to look at them, to review the menu." And then I put it down, and they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "One Sonic the Hedgehog TM chili dog, please."
No, it'll be called
with tail sprinkles on top.
The San 4-stick chili dog.
Can I have the San 4-stick chili dog with the special tails mustard?
Do you remember
upon the top?
Do you remember the Fan 4-stick menu at Denny's?
Mm-hmm.
That thing burger was actually pretty good. I like the hash browns.
I already know the entire plot of Sonic, so I could just
spoil
it. Should I just spoil Sonic a week and a half in advance? You guys want to know the plot? Sonic beats Dr. Eggman, and then Tails comes out of the dimensional portal, dude.
Is that really the stinger of the movie?
Yep.
I mean, I believe it. But
no, that's what the stinger is. I heard the fucking plot.
Yeah,
I just spoiled Sonic for all these people. They came here to hear us praise Birds of Prey. And all we did was shit on this movie, and then I just revealed the plot of Sonic. The spoiler alert for Sonic, but Dr. Eggman gets defeated and then Tails shows up. What a shock. What a shocking revelation about the Sonic fucking movie, dude.
Do you have anything else horrible to say about Suicide Squad? Oh, God. This movie has some really tacky shit. I mean, the fact that her beanbag gun shoots out glitter and shit, but the music choices, man.
It's like, I'm a bad bitch.
I know they wanted to do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing where they got the 80s music just like Suicide Squad.
They had like 2 80s songs, and then it's like it sounds like now this is what I call music, and it's just like they have like Lizzo shaking her fat ass at the fucking. Can I talk about how
they
had like Nicki Minaj, Cardi
on
B,
there as well, and like,
Lizzo, and then 80s girls power songs.
Pretty much.
I'm shocked they didn't play Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Oh my god, that would have been so cringe.
They played Barracuda, which was kind of obviously going to happen during the fight scene.
Yeah, Black Betty was a pretty obvious one too. But, oh my god, we should also talk about how much they say the word fucking bird in this movie.
They say fucking bird a lot. Because
bird is in this movie every time. Anytime that a man refers to a woman in this movie, it's like, "You're my little bird. You're a bird. I kill all the birds. Birds, 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 birds." The word bird is said like every 15 seconds of this goddamn fucking movie. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm shocked at the end they didn't say we need a name. It's like they called us birds, why don't we use it against them? Birds of prey. Like the Fantastic Four thing. Remember how Fantastic Four 2015 was actually a good movie aside from the reshoots, which made it a trash-ass movie? Yeah. Like you could tell it was reshot. Like when the wig came in, you knew the movie was going to get bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, Aidan, would you recommend Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad 2, Harley Quinn #1, Deadpool 3, the Fantabulous Emancipation of the Harley Quinn?
You came really close on that.
One Harley Quinn. It's one Harley Quinn. I think I said
that was impressive. No, it's fucking horrible. It's not even funny. It's just like miserable and long and cringe is the word I would use to describe it. Like, more than any other word, it's embarrassing. And, yeah, Connor, would you recommend the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn, aka Birds of Prey?
Honestly, I would recommend this movie strongly. It has a lot of good aspects.
Great acting.
There's great acting. Good,
Funny comedy,
the superb editing. 2020
Superb
is shaping up to be one of the best years for movies. If we could just have clusterfuck dog shit garbage like this once a week
With cartoon hyenas.
I don't know how 2020 could be more entertaining than me just watching this dog shit on repeat. And it reminds me of why in 2019 I had to step away from watching shitty movies. Why just the idea of watching Aquaman turned me off to watching movies for an entire year. I'm back in the fucking saddle, baby. I just watched Birds of fucking Prey, dude.
Alright, Connor.
I said I'd never do it again. I didn't watch Aquaman. I kept my word. I still haven't seen fucking Aquaman. I don't want to see Aquaman. Because the idea of Aquaman makes me laugh. The idea that Aquaman made $1 billion, that's a world I don't want to live in. I think nuclear war needs to destroy us.
Ocean to Ocean, the Pitbull song,
right.
Named Ocean to Ocean, about the ocean.
They didn't change, even though they got someone to re-sing that Toto's Africa, they didn't change it to like Atlantis.
No, that song...
How much of a meme would it be?
You know what scene that song plays
during?
during? That song plays when they're in the desert. Why?
I kept my word on Aquaman, but I can't keep my word swearing off shitty fucking movies.
I have two important questions. Do you think this movie will be better or worse than Sonic the Hedgehog?
I don't know, but I was actually about to bring that up. I was going to say, this is 2020, bro. We're living in a world where Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey is one of the shittiest movies I have ever seen in my life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This movie is fucking awful.
Yes,
it took the cake for the worst DCEU movie, and that's saying a lot. And yet somehow, the Sonic the Hedgehog... honestly, this movie was so bad, I'm honestly looking at Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, the movie, by Paramount Pictures, who's stuck in 2007. I'm looking at the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and thinking, how bad could it be? In comparison to this movie, I think we're 5 weeks into 2020. I don't think it can get worse. We are a tenth of the way through 2020, and I genuinely, hand to God, do not believe a worse movie could possibly come out. But I'm probably wrong, because next fucking week, Sonic the Hedgehog is going to come out. But at least we know that at the end, the sequel that's never going to happen is going to feature Tails. So what was your second question?
Rank the DCEU, not counting Joker.
Okay. Well, that's not part of the EU.
I know. I was just...
because they quit it.
I was just saying.
Okay. Shazam, Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Justice League. No. I haven't seen Aquaman, but just from seeing trailers, I know it's better than this. But let's just say Justice League, Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey. And I assume Aquaman is probably like the second best movie in this fucking universe, which is amazing.
If I had to rank it, okay. Shazam. Wonder Woman is moderately watchable. Aquaman? Aquaman gave me a seizure and hurt my head, but it wasn't like miserable and sad. It was just like bad.
Is it better than Man of Steel?
Yeah, probably. Because there's not a scene... Here's the thing. There's no scene in Aquaman where Aquaman tears through a bunch of underwater buildings and murders a bunch of innocent civilians and then poses like Jesus and flies around crying while saving people and shit.
That's fair.
So then, Man of Steel... Justice League, Batman versus Batman versus Superman, Suicide Squad, and then Harley Quinn.
You know what's sad? Batman vs Superman's really making its way up to par, dude. It's just under par right now for the DCEU.
It's climbed from one of the worst movies I've ever seen to middle tier for the DCEU.
Yep.
And it just keeps sliding up the ranks.
In fairness to Batman v Superman, we can shit on Batman v Superman all day, but it didn't have a long time sitting at the bottom with Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad had a long tenure at the bottom of that list, but it was finally dethroned.
Suicide Squad and this movie are on pretty equal levels.
No. This is the same movie as Suicide Squad, but the character development is worse. The memes are far cringier, and it's not edited coherently. The movie makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
and granted,
true. That is true.
Granted, Suicide Squad is shit. It's cut poorly. The characters are underdeveloped. But there's a difference. The difference is, while Suicide Squad is cringy, Birds of Prey is 10 times cringier. While Suicide Squad is edited like shit, Birds of Prey is edited 10 times shittier. While Suicide Squad has no character development at all and is dog shit character development, somehow there is 10 times less character development in this movie. While Suicide Squad is not faithful to the source material at all, this movie is 10 times less faithful to the source material than Suicide Squad.
There was never...
It is literally like Suicide Squad smoked the fucking crack pipe behind the alley, sucked the fucking meat flute for 40 minutes to get 45 cents so that it could go to the fucking corner and be butt-fucked by Rick and Morty. Well, Pickle Rick... Dude, I'd honestly rather buy a Pickle Rick plastic action figure that says, "Look, Morty, I took the shape of a pickle," and insert it into my ass without any lube and have blood start squirting everywhere because I'm piercing myself. I'd rather bleed out on a fucking anal fucking myself with a Pickle Rick action figure than ever watch this piece of dog shit movie again.
There was never a point...
Maybe that's very dramatic, but...
There was never a point in this movie where I felt any enjoyment... Although I must say, there's one memorable moment in Suicide Squad that made me laugh out loud.
What was that?
It wasn't supposed to be funny, but when they're showing Killer Croc and they start playing It Ain't Me, I burst out laughing in the theater. And there was never a time where I actually enjoyed watching Birds of Prey. I was just not enjoying it the whole time.
This movie is literally like Suicide Squad, but far worse. It's like they didn't learn their lesson from Suicide Squad.
Most of the entertainment I got from this movie was speculating on whether Ewan McGregor was gay or not. And that had, that wasn't the movie having fun laughing at the movie.
I didn't even think that he, I just assumed he was gay. I just figured it was established that he was gay, but the movie ended, he blew up with a grenade, and we just don't know. We just do not know.
They chickened out.
They chickened out, dude. I think they shot the movie intending him to be gay, and then they chickened out.